Welcome to the XDOG Podcast, where our mission is to help dog owners extend the life of their dogs through nutrition, fitness, and education. I am your host, Stan Smith, CEO of XDOG, and whether you're looking for tips on how to improve your dog's overall health, get valuable training details, or insight on personal growth and business development, then you are in the right place. So march with us as we go heads up against your dog's number one enemy, canine obesity, and let's win this battle together. You've been in the game 17 years, correct?
Yeah.
How much evolution have you seen in dog training from the beginning when you started to today's training methods?
The biggest thing I've seen is most definitely making that transition from the old school style of training and respecting the new style of training, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, they stuck in their old ways. They don't want to accept the new style of training. Now, just like the new school style of training, a lot of those new school style trainers need to understand some of the old school style methods was better.
Yeah.
And it was more efficient than everything else. So it has to be a balance of both. I know now the biggest thing I see, the biggest difference in styles of training with the new revolution is e-collars, right? That's one of the biggest things I've seen.
Stop right there. Let's talk about tools. There's a lot of people that frown upon certain collars, certain tools, and the idea of using tools. You have trainers out there that are just like, let's do all positive training. What's your insight on that, or what do you feel about that?
I really feel like, first of all, let me say this. I believe in all styles of training. I believe in positive. I believe in correction. I believe in e-collar. I believe in those things when you're using it for the right purpose and the right dog, right? So I believe positive, you can get most of your things done with positive reinforcement training,
Okay.
a great bond, a great engagement with your dog. But if you want to compete in a sport, kind of a sport or aggressive dog sport or something like that, positive reinforcement is not going to get it. That's just my honest opinion. It'll get you so far,
Okay.
but it won't get you to that level, right? So for those who don't believe in e-collars and prong collars and choke chains and all that good stuff, all that stuff serves a purpose for me. And I truly believe it serves a purpose. It's just a matter of what you plan on doing with your dog. Now, I do believe you get a better result out of a dog that wants to do it for you versus you making them do it. So that's my model, right? So you teach them the yes before you get into all those prong collars and everything else. So I don't jump right into that. And I mostly use prong collars and e-collars. If I do use the e-collar, it's for shaping. It's to tighten it up. It's not to tell a dog that you're wrong, I'm punishing you. It's not used for punishment. It's used to shape the dog, right? So even with the e-collar, you don't have to zap the dog to get him to react. You can do a little nick. It's like this. It just lets the dog know that you're out of position. That's all.
Yeah.
Positive reinforcement is good, but if you go somewhere out in public and you don't have no treats in your pocket, now what?
Shit out of luck.
You out of luck, right?
Yeah.
So then that dog, all that's been taught is, I do something nice, you give me a treat. So you out in PetSmart, you out in the public and everything else, and the dog, he take off running, you don't have a treat in your pocket, and he run all the way back to you and realize you don't have a treat in your pocket, he gone.
Yeah.
So now you taught that dog all positive reinforcement versus teaching that dog to listen to you no matter what. So that's why I said it all depends on what kind of training somebody wants to do and what they're using the dog for. I believe in all of it, but I also believe people can abuse it.
Yeah.
They most definitely can use it the wrong way.
Now, as far as dog sport, which sport is your favorite? Why do you compete in that sport? And do you have, what type of goals do you have? Because I know a lot of people, man, like when you have a goal in a dog sport, and you know Derek very well, he works. He said, if you're not going for your 3, you don't even be competing in PSA, period.
Let me say this. First of all, my favorite is real protection work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that first. I like real protection work. I just got into sports 2 or 3 years ago, right? My man Marcus actually finally convinced me that I needed to do sport. Out of the two, I would have to choose APDA or PSA. I like PSA because I like the structure, the challenge of it. And I agree with Derek. If you're gonna do it, go for your 3. Go to the max, right? So I would say PSA is tough, or APPDA. Those are 2 sports that I'm going to compete in. And between the 2, I like a lot of this one and a lot of this one. So I can't really choose which one I like the most. I do have an APPDA club here in St. Louis. I like the APPDA because it has a little bit more real life scenarios, right? Yeah. PSA have a more presentation bite. They give the bite to the dog. So I really don't care for that because of my background is protection work. So I don't like presentation bites, but I like the sport. I think it's more challenging. I think it show your skill set because it is not easy.
Yeah.
It's not an easy sport. And I applaud all the people that do PSA. They got a 3 on their dog. Shout out to Derek. Bad motherfucker, man.
You're opening up a training facility here in St. Louis, correct?
Yep.
What are you going to offer? What is it that you're going to offer dog owners here in the greater St. Louis area?
Education.
As far as?
Education on just the average person, the average daily person, how to get their dog well behaved, right? We're going to offer a lot of things that we went over today, just basic obedience. The best thing that I want to offer and give to these folks is understanding before you can even get to that, learn how to build a bond with your dog.
Sure.
You need to have a bond with your dog because if you build a bond with your dog, you can gain engagement, right? So if you don't have an engagement from a dog, none of it's going to matter. You're not going to be able to get any of that, right?
Yeah.
It may be treat motivated and everything else, but if you walk up to that dog out the gate and you give him, he can tell the tone in your voice what y'all about to do. You ready to work?
Yeah.
And he already engaged to that, right? So you want the engagement piece more than anything.
Yes.
Right, and then you can get to the obedience, and then you can get to praising and free shaping and using luring and everything else. But get the engagement piece from the dog first. Get him tuned in you. Build that bond. Spend time watching TV with the dog. Just pet the dog up, and once you get that piece of it, everything else should fall into place.
So, person gets a new puppy, just wants basic obedience. They can come to you, and you're going to offer that as well?
Oh, yeah. So we're going to offer level 1, 2, 3 obedience. That's on and off leash obedience. Whether you want to do just your average person walking down the street, you just want your dog to have great obedience off leash. We're going to offer that. We're going to offer sport work, protection work obedience, which is a whole nother level. Because once you teach a dog to bite and they in drive mode, it's a different level of trying to control that dog with obedience versus somebody walking down the street and he just want to go play with kids.
Now, you talk about environmentals a lot and how important they are. What's your take on like dog parks and stuff like that?
It all depends on what you're doing with the dog.
Sure.
Right? Me, I take my protection dogs to dog parks. I think it's good socialization for them. I really believe that. And as people always say, you're only good as what your dog shows. Well, my dogs go to dog parks, and you see the results.
Yeah.
So I think some people believe that you can't have both, and you're supposed to keep the dog separated from everybody else. I don't believe in that. I've never done that, and I really believe that you can have both. And you can take them out in the public, they can be social, and they can still do what you want them to do. Have an on and off switch.
Now, as far as the game goes today, and as you were coming up, who are like the 2 or 3 trainers right now that you feel that you highly respect and that you actually admire and look up to? Kind of mentor you, because in everything that we do in life, man, we got to have mentors. We have to have people that are better than us in certain areas.
I'm gonna have to say Clay, no fear. Team no fear. Clay has been mentoring me, man. God, when I first posted one of my first videos, he inboxed me like, "Hey, man," and you know how Clay is. Clay's straightforward, man. Something I can shape up and everything else, and also he give you constructive criticism, but he also tell you why.
Yeah.
Right. And he was helping me with a heel or something I was messing up on, or it was out of shape, and it can be cleaned up. So Clay has helped me, man, the last 3 or 4 years. I talk to him all the time, man, and I respect him a lot, and his work is proven what he's done with the game, especially with pit bulls, but everything he's done. I respect him. I respect Charlie Randolph. I really respect him because he does what I like. I like that protection show, really showing your dog, challenging your dog. He's also keeping it going. He's putting on shows.
Yes.
He's giving you a chance to compete. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Giving you something to work towards. Also, he would break it down to you after he done kicked your dog's ass. He would break it down to you like, hey, this is what you need to work on. I would do this, 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 and this. And it's a lot of people in the game that won't do that, right?
Why do you feel that? Why do you feel like trainers or a lot of people don't like to give away their secrets or?
Because they don't want you to be better than them.
And it's kind of crazy because, being in the business that we're in, we just we give.
Yeah.
And we try to give as much as possible. And it's kind of crazy because I think it really helps evolve the game as far as it really elevates anything from business to any aspect of life.
And it does. And that's what you're gonna learn about this game, man. Like even I forgot one person, Ty Nero, out of New Jersey. Ty's gave me a lot of great advice about decoying work, about things that improve my dogs and everything else. I value his opinion very much so. So him, Charlie Randolph, Clay No Fear, and also James Gallery. James Gallery has given me a lot of great advice, man. Me and Marcus have cleaned up some things with my dogs that we've seen, that he's seen, that we didn't. These guys got tons of years of experience in the game. But I think a lot of people don't want to give that out because they always want to feel like they want to be the top person at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Right? And see, this is what I tell people all the time. I don't want to be the top person at the top of the list. I just want my dog to be good.
Yeah.
I don't care about being the top trainer. I just want my dog and the dog and the clients to be happy. I don't care if you know more than I know.
Well, here's the thing. They say if you want to grow, you have to be in a room full of people. You better be the dumbest motherfucker in the room. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, you're not going to grow. Right. And it can actually level you down. Now, obviously, you run a tight ship around here. Everything's going, it takes a lot of work to do what you're doing. How important is the role of having a significant partner like your wife, Amy, to help you with it?
I couldn't do it without her. She's the caretaker. She takes care of the house. She spends probably more time with the dogs than I do. When I walk in that kennel, they know that when Mama walk in there, it's nurturing time. We about to get fed. We about to get some out time. We about to get treats. When I walk in there, you see how they go crazy?
Yeah.
They know it's work time.
Yeah.
So they know the balance, but there's no way in hell I can run this without her.
Yeah, I asked her earlier who's her favorite. She's like, I don't have a favorite.
And she don't, man. Like my wife is the best, man. I have the best wife ever, and she holds it down. She holds this house down. Like there's no way in the world this can function without her.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. So speaking of decoy work, I'm about to go out here and take this bite from Caesar. Any advice from you as far as that can help me respect the game?
Well, I applaud you for coming out here, man, and taking the bite from Caesar. The only thing I can tell you, man, just be calm. Trusting with you in good hands.
No, I 100% trust
right?
you.
Trust in good hands, and just I really want you to feel, which you already probably got an idea. I want you to feel the bite from this dog, so you can understand how hard it is for decoys in and out when they're catching 5 or 6 dogs like this in a matter of 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it gives you a different perspective when I send this dog and I take him off and somebody send another dog on him.
Yeah.
Decoys take a lot of punishment. They body take a lot of beatings. I'm pretty sure you're going to be wounded up after this. And then they give you a perspective of how much work it takes. That's why a lot of people that claim they want to do decoy work,
yeah,
once they take a few bites and they do it for a day or so, they never come back. Because it is hard work.
No, yeah, I think decoys are really underrated as far as, and underappreciated in a lot of ways when it comes to, when people, like the everyday dog person, they think of dog trainer, none of them really think of dog decoy and the importance of the decoy and the role that they play and how important it is to have a good, like set of decoy. Like Clay talks about, I got to have a team. If I'm going to compete in the sport of PSA or any type of protection sport, I've got to have the right team. That's why he hasn't competed in it.
Right.
Because he's like, I haven't had the right team.
And he's absolutely right? Because when you compete at that level, your dog can't work on the same decoy every day.
Yeah.
Right? It needs to see multiple decoys, right? So, and you need to have a strong, consistent team. You can't have somebody that show up on a Saturday and then they don't show up again for a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
That's not helping you, right? So if you're going to compete at that level, as hard as PSA is or APJ, you have to have a strong, consistent team.
Yeah. Well, man, I appreciate you letting us in your home and giving us some insight on that. So let's get ready to go take this bite.
All right, brother, let's go.